Is the U.S. on the brink of something unprecedented? President Donald Trump is moving closer to deploying active-duty military on American soil. It's a dramatic escalation and a risky political gamble. About 700 Marines have now been mobilized to join the National Guard in Los Angeles. They're being sent in response to large protests over federal immigration raids. CNN reports the Marines were previously on ready-to-deploy status. It's still unclear what their task will be once they arrive in Los Angeles. Under law, they cannot make arrests or carry out police duties unless Trump invokes the Insurrection Act. But the White House sees the deployment as more than just a security move. They believe it's a political win. White House spokesman Stephen Chung posted on X, and the approval number will be even higher after the National Guard was sent to L.A. to beat back the violence this weekend. He was referring to a CBS News/YouGov poll showing 54% of Americans support Trump's deportation program. But public opinion may not be that simple. History suggests Americans are wary of such moves. Back in 2020, the Trump administration cleared racial justice protesters from Lafayette Square in Washington. Rubber bullets and tear gas were used. Trump then walked across the square with military leaders for a photo op. The response? Widespread public outrage. A USA Today/Ipsos poll found 63% of Americans opposed the use of force that day. A CNN/SSRS poll at the time showed 60% of Americans said deploying the military for protests was inappropriate. This isn't exactly 2020. Back then, the protests were peaceful and the public sympathized with the cause. People believed George Floyd had been murdered by police. This time, it's different. The demonstrations in L.A. are tied to immigration raids, and public sympathy may be lower for undocumented immigrants. Polls do show Americans support deporting undocumented individuals, especially those without legal status. But there's nuance. That same CBS/YouGov poll showed while 54% approve of the deportation plan. So Americans might like the idea of enforcement, but not how it's being carried out. This is where Trump's gamble gets clearer. He's betting that people care more about the result, deportations, than the method, even if that means scenes of violence, legal shortcuts, or using the military. A Pew poll found 56% of Americans oppose deporting undocumented immigrants who have jobs. 60% oppose deporting parents of U.S. citizen children. But the L.A. raids focused on workplaces, not criminals or gang members. Homeland Security claims at least 5 of those arrested in the L.A. sweeps had criminal convictions or were facing charges. Everything now depends on what the Marines do in L.A. If Trump invokes the Insurrection Act, they could be authorized to engage in law enforcement. That would mark a historic and highly controversial shift. Because the last time Trump tried a major crackdown, Lafayette Square, the backlash was swift and harsh. This time, the question is, will Americans stand by military deployment on their own soil? Or will this move backfire like it did before? The stakes, both practical and political, couldn't be higher.